Hi, everybody. Welcome back to our next guest with Donna and Sandrine. I'm Donna.
And I'm Sandrine.
Welcome, everyone. Let me give you a quick explanation on what we do here at Our Next Guest. Our Next Guest is where we bring you the real stories of the people behind the titles. You can expect to find the stories from guests from all over the industries, from any business, from academia to business to corporates and everything and anything in between. We uncover the moments, the mindset, the missteps, and of course, all the earnings behind their stripes. And in each episode, we invite people from our network, some that wanted to be here, some that we got introduced to, some that we admire, and some that we simply forced to be here. Just kidding. And of course, all these people have great stories that are worth hearing. And I would like you to welcome us today with our guest, Sophie Hanessian. Sophie, welcome to our next guest.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful and so happy to be here with you today. So thank you for the invitation.
Sophie,
So
let me
welcome.
introduce you just a bit. You are the heart and the driving force behind Vegetables. Um, Vegetables is a smart food consultancy and plant-based catering company based in Switzerland. You spent 15 years in the HR world, and after that, you decided to follow your passion for food and well-being, completing nutrition training at Cornell and earning a culinary certification at Ver de la Table. The
Exactly.
journey led you to a new mission, making healthy, ethical, and plant-based meals more accessible in places like schools, offices, and institutions. You co-founded Vegetables in 2020 and you took full leadership in 2023, steadily growing its presence, its impact across Switzerland ever since. Thanks a lot for being here today.
Thank you. Thank you, Sandrine. So, yeah.
Well, before we start, Sophie, one question that we always like to ask our guest is so imagine we're giving you this virtual stage. If we would have like a song playing in the background, like your stage song, what would it be?
Um, that's a good question.
And I see already the body shaking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, you will see. I have a lot. You know, I
Nice.
uh, I like a lot electronic music. So I
Oh,
don't know. I think I would like, something a bit chill, lounge, but with a tempo like this. I don't know. Yeah, something like that, probably.
something energetic.
Exactly.
Very
Yes,
cool.
that's
That always gives us a little bit of an idea of, like how you like to be introduced.
Yeah.
I sense like energy and empowerment, and that lead us also like to the next question because we introduce you, but we are super curious with Donna, like how did you move from HR to this mission for plant-based food and for nutrition in general? What is your story?
Yeah. So, even myself, I'm sometimes like, what did I do? How could I do that? But yeah, to be honest with you, I started my journey in HR, yeah, around 15 years ago, even a bit more now, I would say. And at the time, I didn't know what HR meant. I was just like, okay, it's my first job. I take it. I go for it. And then I spent the last 15, yeah, now, no, 20 years in HR. And, it was not about what I was doing there. It was more about who I became there and also what happened in my life and all the experiences that I had. And to be honest, something happened in 2020. No, it was 2015, sorry. And I decided, it was at the end of the year, to stop eating meat. So this was the beginning of everything and why I'm here today, you know. And with that, I started to learn a bit more about food because at the time, you know, I didn't know how to cook. I was always eating the same food every day, like I was going to the groceries and then put my food in the microwave or in the oven. I didn't know how to cook at the time. And step by step, I was like, yeah, but something is wrong with the way I eat.
Mm.
And I started to become vegetarian. Even if I was eating fish, you know, I was like, no, but I'm vegetarian. And I didn't even understand what was vegetarian at the time. And then one day, I saw a video about how animals were killed. And sorry if it's a strong word, but
Mm-hmm.
it's a fact. And then, you know, my whole life I was saying that I love animals. And I also used to grow with animals around me my whole life. And at some point, I was like, yeah, why do I eat this animal and not my dog and not my cat or whatever? And then when I saw this video, something very, yeah, how can I say that? Yeah, you know, something happened. Exactly. And I was like, but it's not me, you know. I'm a non-violent person, I would say,
Yeah.
because, you know, I really love to care about people, to care about animals. This is who I am. But eating animals, you know, was something wrong for me at some point. And I started one day to say, okay, now I will try not eating any animal products to see what happens also to me, but also to try to align myself with my values. Because, you know, for so many years, I was lost in my life. I would say I didn't know who I was. Everything was always a bit complicated. I felt apart. I was not aligned with myself. You know, I was always worried about everything. And then when I started this, you know, everything came like this. And I was, oh, wow. And suddenly I learned who I was and started to live the way I wanted to live. So it's when I became, I would say, vegan. And don't get me wrong, but you know, I think a lot of people think when we say the vegan word that it's you know, something extremist, something very difficult, and people sometimes don't understand, and it's totally the contrary of that, you know. For me, it's trying to do your best, trying to hurt how not hurting people, but not only people, also all
Yeah.
living beings. And
Yeah.
that's how I feel it, and now how I live. And
Yeah.
that's why, and sorry if I talk a lot, I know,
No, go ahead.
but that's why at some point, when I was working in HR, and I was in a very famous watch company, you know, so, and also high level of whatever you can imagine about. At some point, I was going there, and I was, but there is no meaning, there is no sense for me going there. What am I doing? Okay, and I don't want to speak badly about watches or whatever. No, it's a great word, whatever. But honestly, the world fell apart. Okay, watches will not help us to to go ahead or to build something. You see, I think it's more, personal. Anyway, and then I was like, now I need to do something because now I'm aligned with my values, and I also have to do something with my life, with my professional life, to fulfill everything. You know, I need to feel complete. in everywhere, yeah, every part of my life.
Mm-hmm.
And then with my sister, she also had not exactly the same journey as me, but she also became vegan when she realized what it was and the way I was doing it. And to be honest, again, when I started to be vegan, I didn't know what to do. I was just like, I don't want to eat animals. This was my motive. I was like, I don't want to eat animals. I don't care
Yeah.
if I don't eat.
Yeah, that was your focus.
Yeah, exactly. If it's not good or whatever, but I don't want to eat animals anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And for that, of course, I was like, but I need to do more. And I wanted to start with activism,
Mm-hmm.
to speak for the animals. And that's also what gave me the strength. And, this is today why I'm still here and what I'm doing, because
Nice.
I'm doing it for the animals at the end,
Mm-hmm.
And of course, when you speak about food, it's so important because it's our fuel. It's what
Yeah.
gives us energy. So it's so important. But also when
Mm-hmm.
you start the journey, you see, okay, if I eat less meat, it's better for my health. Okay, it's better for the environment. It's better for the animals. It's better
Yeah.
for everything.
Yeah, like a virtuous circle.
Exactly. Exactly. So
There is so much to unpack in what you're
Yeah.
saying here. I mean, there
yeah,
is this, and I think, well, as someone who is consciously eating less meat and
yeah,
has periods where I don't eat meat at all, there is this cognitive dissonance that we have,
exactly.
as people. Like, I love animals, but, it's this psychological paradox.
Yeah,
We love animals, yet we eat them. It's
exactly.
this cognitive dissonance that we have, this uncomfortable tension between conflicting values and our behavior.
Exactly.
And, I think as humans, we've sort of mentally learned to distance ourselves from an animal. Oh, we can look at, oh, how smart is this pig? Yet at other moments, we can look at it simply as bacon or, whatever. So there is so much to unpack in what you're saying. But just going back maybe just a little bit, because you mentioned how a while ago you went into this direction of becoming vegetarian. I read it somewhere. I have no real resource here on where I read it, but is it true that you became vegetarian after you saw a movie? Okja?
Yeah,
It
exactly.
is, right?
Yeah, it is. It is. It is.
Ah,
But
yeah, I haven't
just,
seen it yet, but I can
yeah,
imagine
yeah,
for those that don't know the movie, maybe you can explain it like in a
Yes.
sentence, or I can if you want.
you can, because I think it's interesting also for me to understand what
Yeah,
you
yeah, yeah.
understood and what you saw, what you felt. Yeah.
No, I haven't seen it yet, but
Oh, you haven't? Oh, I'm
it's
so sorry. I
no,
thought
but
that
it's
you
it's
had.
this movie, right, about I think it's a Korean movie about this girl that is creating a relationship or a really strong bond with this genetically modified super pig, Okja.
Ex yeah,
And it's
ex
part of some global corporate experiment by a massive food conglomerate. And then when they try to reclaim the pig for slaughter and for marketing, she goes on this journey to save her friend, right? That's in a nutshell, I think, what it's about.
it's exactly that. And it's really what I didn't know that we could do activism for the animals. And when
Hmm.
I saw that, I was like, this is what I have to do. I want to do that. Of course, I didn't do exactly the same way that she was doing it. And I think it could be very interesting to see the movie to understand a bit more.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, that is. And I was already vegetarian at the time when I saw the movie. And that was the kick to push me to become
Mm,
to become
Mm.
vegan. Yeah,
super
Hot
interesting.
topic.
Yeah, really. And as Donna said, there is so much to unpack. So from what I understood, and correct me, Sophie, so in 2015 you started becoming like vegetarian,
yeah,
and in 2020 you founded the company Vegetables.
yeah,
And So I see that there was a process. There was like a journey where you were navigating exactly, okay, what can I do? What are the
Yeah,
actions that can impact really like the future? What was really maybe the turning point? Or because I see like the calling, I
yeah,
want to do something. And then how did you materialize it into, okay, it's gonna be vegetables?
yeah. That's a very good question because, I always wanted to be independent, to have my own company. But of course, I felt like I had not enough skills, that I was not enough experimented to do this kind of things, that I think you maybe know and understand how
Yes,
I
of
could
the
felt at the time. And when I realized that we had the power to do something with my sister, because we were totally aligned, we have the same values, and it was during COVID.
Mm.
So the story is we were on my couch and we were looking at each other like, what? What is it? What's happening? What are we doing? And why? Why are we doing what we are doing at the moment? And then we said, now we have to do something. We can't just stay like this. And
sorry, just for the people
yeah,
watching us, the audience. So you co-founded like the company Vegetables with your sister. So it's a sort of family, originally a family business, right? With
exactly.
a purpose.
Exactly.
Okay.
But we had the chance to join a program, an incubator. And during 3 months, we had the chance to challenge a bit our idea, to make it grow and this kind of thing. And at the end of the program, I was looking at my sister and I said, you know what? I'm going for that. This is what I want to do. And she was
Nice.
like, yeah, I think I will do it too. And then we started the company like this. At the beginning, it was quite wow, so interesting because a lot of people joined us as volunteer, and they were like, "Your project is just so amazing. We want to be part of it." And we were okay, but we had nothing at the time, even not the name. I think it was really just an
Maybe
idea.
you were already a magnet, even
Yeah,
even
it was.
before it was
Yeah,
even if it was before. I mean,
yeah,
even
Yeah.
yeah, at the genesis, I would say, of the
yeah.
project, there was already traction. Mm.
Exactly. And at the time, we didn't know exactly what we were going to propose as services. So we built everything, and we had this chance to have this huge network around us, but we also built it. It was not just like we knew people. We went in a lot of events. We talked with a lot of people. We joined a lot of different associations, food associations, this kind of thing. And then magic happened. I don't know. We started to receive a lot of requests, different kind of requests. And it was so interesting because, when we built the company, we had this business Canva. I don't know if you know this,
Mm-hmm.
this document. Probably, of course, you know
Yeah.
it. And we put it, when you start, you put some ideas on it. You don't know if, and everything that we put happened. And it was just
Wow.
like so crazy. And we were like, whoa, okay, we do have something. And we received the request and we started and we tried,
Mm.
we created new services, new things, and it was so new for us because even my sister was not an entrepreneur at the time too, so she was a project manager. But we also realized that our skills matched a lot together, and
That's nice.
yeah, it was amazing.
Nice.
And
For
so we
those, maybe quickly,
yeah,
Sophie, just for those
yeah,
that don't know what your company does, can you
yeah,
explain what Vegetable
exactly.
does?
I'm so sorry, I should have
That's all
started.
right. No, no, no. Because you're so in your story, but I'm like, oh, there
Yeah,
must be people watching
yeah.
now going like, what is this company? I want to know more about it.
Exactly, exactly. So Vegetables is a smart food and consulting company, and we promote smart food. And you will ask me, what is smart food? And smart
Exactly.
food is healthy, food, sustainable food, and also ethical food. It's mostly whole food, and 100% plant-based. And it means that it's local, seasonal, it's tasty, it's beautiful when you see it. I mean, it's really a way to show people that we have a possibility to eat differently without meat. But the point is, we are not here to say you must go vegan or whatever. I am vegan because this is my, it's my values, it's who I am. But I'm not saying to people you have to go vegan or whatever. It's more like I receive a lot of requests from people. They want to reduce meat at the beginning, and they come to me like, I don't know what to cook. I don't know how I can replace this or what can I do? And this is what I'm doing. I help people and society in general to add more plant-based in their daily habits. So this is what
That's what the company does. And do you do that B2C, business to consumer, or business to business, or both?
Both. We do everything. We can go everything. We can. So we have these cooking classes that we offer, both for professional cooks, but also for the public. So we do a lot of team buildings inside companies where we go and we cook with the employees, and we have amazing recipes also to show them that it's so easy and tasty. The goal is not to come with a lot of strange things, strange ingredients or product that people don't know that it exists. So we just come with the basic things, and we cook together, and we give advice. And the whole thing about vegetables, it's not just giving food, it's also to educate people. Yeah. So every time we are doing something, there is a moment where we do some theory, or where we explain why, and we love to do it by games, so we created a lot of different quiz. And we like playing like this, and yeah, it must be fun. It's not like you're coming and say you must do this, you must. It's really not the way we work. It's more like if people want to do something, they can do it, but it must be fun.
Yeah,
it's nice, and especially because and from an outsider point of view, I mean, I embrace also, I'm not vegan, I'm going to be honest, but I embrace also the same philosophy of, eating less meat, or eating meat, but more consciously, or fish more consciously. You were talking about the fact that you received a lot of requests at first, like there was this emulation, this enthusiasm for your business, and that people came along and got inspired by your mission. Was there, and you mentioned also that you work B2B, and from what we research, you are working with schools, with hospitals, so with a lot of governmental institutions, but also companies. Was there any limited beliefs or any challenges that you had to cope with at first, or did you feel that it was a sense of flow right from the start?
Both. But I would say, as people came to us, it was not like we had to go and do the pitch and try to get clients or whatever. It's more like people were, we like the way you communicate, we like what you offer, we like the programs that we could do with you, and it was easier, and easier for us because we didn't have to convince people to come. And what's very interesting also is that a lot of these programs, of course, are requested by the direction of the institutions or the companies or whatever. So it's easier. It's not like you try to go by the I don't know if we say it in English, by the small door and try to reach someone who maybe
Yeah.
can do this kind of thing.
The
We
maze, starting the
exactly,
maze.
yeah, you know. And I don't want to be like, yeah, this is you know. But honestly, it's really like this, and so we can also feel that we are in this moment in society, but also with the government, or now they are taking, I put this, some responsibilities about the food system we are in at the moment. It's totally broken. We can't continue the way we eat everywhere. It's not just saying this like this. It's really broken, and we definitely have to find another way to eat. And I can see, especially here in Switzerland, because I work for the moment only in Switzerland, there are a lot of initiatives about food that are taking a lot about sustainable food, local food, this kind of programs, and we are contacted by them because someone told me that we are the only one who is doing what we are doing. So
Disruption there.
so but
Pretty good.
yeah, and it's also working because we are all passionate people.
Yeah.
And even if I'm alone in the company, because at the moment I'm alone, but every time that I receive a request, I work with independent consultants, external consultants, who have the skills that I need, And also maybe something very important that I haven't said yet is that everything that we give is always science proofed and reliable and high quality science proof. So we don't take researches if we know that it's founded by you. It can be like, Nestle or whatever. And but we really work with great scientists, with great doctors, and also with universities, and it's very important. And we also adapt what we see regarding the evolution of the researches, what's new, it's coming up, So we are not just like saying, oh, you should do this. No, but everything is evidence-based, science-based. So.
Fantastic.
So this is also very important to say. Yeah. And
it's such a hot topic at the moment, right? This whole food revolution, you can almost call it. People are looking more at becoming vegetarian and vegan. And, you can also see it. Well, I mean, I always follow trends in this fashion industry that I'm still sort of in. And you can see that some of the trends on social media are all around food. And you have all these vegetarian or vegan chefs that are really highlighting how to make delicious vegan food or vegetarian food. And I think that's such a nice, it's such a nice trend. And I've learned so much over the past years about how to make delicious vegetables. I mean, I think maybe 5 years ago, I discovered the chickpea. I mean, to me, that was always like chickpeas, there's no flavor until you learn how to make it, right? Because for a lot of people, it's a journey. I think becoming vegetarian is a journey. And if you can do that with flavor, and if you learn how to, bring spice into these dishes, it becomes second nature.
Yeah,
I agree. Sorry to add on that note. I agree so much with what you just said, and what you said also, Sophie, because you said we try to make it fun, and Donna is saying they try to make it delicious. I felt that for a long time, veganism or being vegetarian was not like part of the glamour. It was not glamorous. It was not. It was boring. It was like, oh, you're vegetarian. And it felt like that in terms of stereotypes. And let's talk about stereotypes. It's you were perceived with someone pretty rigid, or like, or there was like this pressure or societal pressure that makes you look like, bad. And now, like you said, Donna, there are like 3-star Michelin cooks who are
Yeah.
reinventing like menu only around plants. So it's fascinating that the shift,
Hmm.
or if there is the trend, at least if it's not a shift yet, it
Yeah.
is coming. Yeah. So yes, how do you see like the development or the evolution or the perception around veganism and being a vegetarian?
Yeah. So it's so interesting because when we started, we didn't exactly know what we were doing, and even people didn't understand at the beginning what we were doing. But when we started to communicate about our vision and also the problem that we wanted to solve in society about food, everything became clear. And also we can see the difference from 5 years ago and now. It's amazing how it evolves. We can see now in here in our shops a lot of vegan options. We can see so many things that's growing. A lot of also communication, public communication about this. It's really wow. I wouldn't think that it would evolve so quickly. And there is something, and as I said, also the governments now are taking this quite seriously, even if sometimes I have this impression that it's more to say, oh, we are doing something, but we need to go slow about it, and but
Hmm.
people want to do something. I remember that
Yeah.
last year a family came to me and said, Sophie, we really would like to add more plant-based food. We don't know how to do that. Can you come at home? And we cooked during 3 afternoon all together and this kind of thing. So there is something. And even if it will take maybe a few years to have it really implemented, we will not pass this, it's coming,
Hmm.
it's here, it's already here. Yeah.
Hmm. There is there's quite a lot of documentaries as well, right, about becoming vegetarian. And one of them that we saw was The Game Changers, of course, Netflix. So, whatever's on Netflix,
Yeah,
you often get to see. But that was also one of those documentaries that made me think, gosh, we've been hearing the wrong stories.
exactly.
As with so many things, but we've been hearing the wrong stories with regards to food. Because you've always had this idea like meat has to be a part of your intake, a part of your food system, because it's one of those, like 5 things that you must eat: your vegetables, grains, meat. But it turns out not necessarily. Beans and from nuts and from all those other things. How do you deal with the fact that, I don't know, maybe people come to you and say, hey, I can't take meat out of my diet completely because I must have iron or B12, or how do you deal with that? What kind of advice can you give them?
Yeah, so those are the questions that I receive every day. And it's very interesting to realize the education that we received when we were young. So it's true what you said, like eat meat, drink milk, do this, do that, blah, 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 blah. And at the end, when we really go deep and we search what is it exactly, we can do it in a totally different way. So when I receive this question, of course, I always ask people what they know about it. Because,
Yeah.
it's not only like giving the answer. It's also like when you think about it, okay, yeah, that's true. We don't need
Hmm.
it. For example, for meat or whatever. But of
Yeah.
course, for protein, we find protein in everything, in plants, in beans, as you say, in everything. So it's impossible to have a deficiency in proteins unless you are anorexic or
Hmm.
you live in a country where there is famine. So
Hmm.
honestly, it's just impossible. If you eat enough food per day, of course, it won't be possible. The only thing, and you said it, it's about B12. because B12, when we have a strictly plant-based diet, it's essential to take some supplement, because we can't find this vitamin in plants. But something that we should know, and sometimes we don't know, is that the animals are most of the time supplemented with B12. So instead of eating meat to have the B12, you just take the supplement. I take one supplement per week. It's a small tablet, really small. And honestly, since I do that, my doctor, at first, and this is very interesting, because when I became vegan, I told my doctor, and she was like, no, I don't support you with this. I'm not okay with this, because we also have to know that a lot of doctors, and it's not exactly their fault, but when they have their education in medicine, they have only half a day of nutrition. So it's impossible for them to know everything unless they go and they search and they do their research by themselves. So when I told her, she was like, no, I don't support you. Honestly, you will be sick, you will anything. And then when she saw my blood testing, she was just like, okay, so now I have nothing to say. And then she was like, okay, what kind of B12 do you use? Because I think I might give it to my patients. And now she's one of my most supporter. She's really one of the how do we say
biggest
first
supporter, advocate.
Yeah, exactly. She's one of the biggest supporter of what we are doing, and she told me, yeah, I didn't know that, and I very often share with her some researches and this kind of thing, and every time she's like, thank you so much, I didn't know.
Wow,
Impressive.
that's so good.
Yeah, it's really impressive. And going back to that, because you just mentioned like your doctor, and before you mentioned like that you are working really closely with scientists, with experts in the field of health and nutrition and plant-based, and that you're gathering like many studies. I was getting curious because you quoted like this doctor, but what are the common questions that maybe institutions or the public sector or the companies are asking you that maybe encourage you or foster this idea of gathering insights all the time to serve actually your purpose?
So nobody asked us to do that. It's really something that we wanted to do from the beginning, because it's such a hot topic, I would say, and we didn't want to come and just say things, and because a lot of people are doing this, a lot of people just says what they think it's true, and when you go and search deep, or even not deep at all, you can definitely see that it's bullshit, and sorry for the word. But no, honestly, and my sister has a strong academic background, and it's also why we decided to do that, to be sure that what we were saying is science. Proved and reliable, and that we are not saying something wrong, and because we are talking about health, it's not just like another topic that would not hurt you, and it's very important that people have the right information, and that's why we decided to do that. And my clients never asked if there was something about that, but of course we always say it. It's something that we say at the beginning when we talk with people. We always say it's science-based. We know what we do, and if we don't know, we will just go and look and research and whatever, but we will never say something that we don't know or we are not agree with it.
And when you said that you work with these researchers and
Yeah.
scientists, I'm curious, do you also work with farmers? Do you work with people that are actually growing the vegetables and the food? Because it immediately brings me back, everything is related, right? Let's just be honest. Our entire world, everything that we do at some point is related. And so biodiversity, soil health, when you think of food and when you think of, also why we eat certain things or should eat certain things, you get to the soil health.
Mm.
So do you also work with farmers?
Not directly with farmers, but we have a lot of food partners, I would say, and that's the point, to be all together and to make it real, and to show that we can eat in another way and
Yeah.
be healthy, and yeah, and this is also one of the goal of vegetables, is to reunite a lot of experts in any fields. It's why we have all those amazing people around us. But the next step, and now I'm alone, so sometimes it's a bit difficult to to do everything at the same time. But really, the next step is also to have our own farmer partners, with who we will work. We already work when we have events or whatever. We have all our food partners around us that we can, of course, order food and this kind of thing. So yeah, sure, we do already that, but we can definitely do it more. But it's the beginning, so we'll see.
It's nice now you're planting the seed. It's like, okay,
Exactly.
to all farmers listening to me, listening to us,
Yeah.
Sophie, I would love to exchange with you.
Exactly. And it's quite interesting because at the beginning, of course, I was asking partners. When I say products, I don't know if you know this company, but it's in Switzerland, but they are now quite, I think they are also in Germany, in France and everything. Planted. I don't know if you have heard about this company. It's a Swiss company, and they use peas to reproduce something similar to meat, but the process is really clean. Everything is clean. There is 5 ingredients in it, and it's delicious. And so we work together and we promote each other. And, this is really something that we want to do, because I also realized when you say to people, yeah, it's good to reduce meat and add more vegetables or whatever. But when you talk only about whole food, it can be difficult. You told me that you discovered the chickpeas 5 years ago. So when you talk to people and say, yeah, you can soak your chickpeas and cook them the day after, they'll, yeah, but I have no time to do that. So
Yeah.
you see what I mean? At the beginning, it's a new habit that you have to implement, and it's not going like, I'm doing this like this, So it's also why I'm working with different companies like Planted to help the transition, because it's easier. You have the product, you put it in a pan, whatever, and then you can eat it. So like meat, I would say. And and I think people need to have this step between going whole food directly. I would say it's mostly impossible. To be honest, I didn't do that, And I think having this kind of products between helps a lot. And then when you know how to do this, at some point you are, okay, I want to go further. I want to learn new things. And it's really like this. And it's also how I did it. So
It's I think you're absolutely right there. I mean, it's a journey. It's a journey. For me, I always had this idea, like, again, it's very personal maybe, but like, oh, being vegetarian is very bland. It's like broccoli, and then what? Where's the flavor? But once you learn how to cook, and I got a lot of recipes from my trip in India, where vegetarian is pretty standard, really. And, on my trips as well, it's like you don't even think about meat because everything is so tasty. So after a few weeks, you don't even have meat in your system anymore.
Yeah.
But it's also learning how to replicate that here. And still, we get so bombarded with meat.
Exactly.
And it's
That's a
so,
big problem also.
yeah.
Yeah, sorry to cut you like
Yeah.
this.
No,
This is
go ahead.
really a huge problem that we have. And do you know how many animals are killed per year around the world? Do you
Yes,
know?
I've seen the statistics,
So
and there have been some really horrific graphics coming by that I saw that are like these millions of animals. I'm like, I can't
no, no,
even think of it.
it's billions, billion. It's so huge, and we are
Mm.
only not at the time we were not 9 billions on
No,
Earth.
7.5
So
billion, I think,
yeah,
or 8
exactly.
billion. Yeah.
So when you know that 80 billions animals are killed
Yeah.
per
It's
year,
ridiculous.
you're just like, why and
Yeah.
why?
It's
And when you
ridiculous.
see the animals also, because this
Mm.
is also something that I receive a lot is, yeah, but I go to the farmer next to my place. I know that
Yeah.
it's ethical meat,
Yeah.
but at the end, even if you
Yeah.
take care of the animal, and I agree, some people are doing this, but this is really like 1% of people who are doing
Hmm.
this. At the
Yeah.
end, the animal is going to the slaughterhouse, and when you know what's happening there,
Yeah.
it's very difficult. And it's
Yeah.
also why I stopped eating meat, because I was like, yeah,
Hmm.
but the how do you say that the animals are going there, they are so worried, they don't understand what's happening to them, and then
Hmm.
you eat this, what are you
Yeah.
putting in your body?
Exactly.
You don't know. Sorry, I know
Yeah.
I'm going a bit
No,
deep.
no,
Yeah.
no. But that
So
reminds
sorry,
me
but
of because
No, but I
I'm
think
following up some association and I can relate to
yeah,
that and videos and actually they sense it, the sense, like they
exactly.
smell
Hmm.
it, they sense
Yeah,
it, they know
yeah,
it. And as you said, it's already toxified also in their own body. So this is also like
exactly.
something that we are then like carrying on while
Yeah.
eating it. And then we could even talk about the ecological impact of doing
Oh,
so, like
yeah.
having to
Totally.
manufacture
Oh yeah.
the
Yeah.
Well,
industry, like the animal
Yeah.
agriculture or the farming of those animals. I just
Hmm.
and totally agree with you. It's a really an emotional topic,
mm,
and I feel that your story and also your mission are playing like a big part of it. And what is interesting also for me, or maybe I'm curious about it. Um, you developed your business in
mm,
Switzerland.
mhm.
And as you said, then you mentioned also like this other company, Planted, who developed like the company in Germany, in Switzerland, and obviously in France. Do you feel it's also the fact that you get so much traction? It's because it's in Switzerland, or it's a global trend, because there is like also this element of, we could say, oh, okay, but Germany, Switzerland, they have this tendency, like for food based or plant based food more than maybe in other culture or in other markets. How do you view that versus other markets?
Yeah, that's a very good point. And in Switzerland, we are late with this compared to
Oh,
other country. Donna, if I'm not wrong, you are in
I'm in Amsterdam.
Amsterdam. Yeah, exactly. I know that the
Yeah.
country is already doing a lot more than what we're doing in Switzerland.
Mm.
And also, if you go to the UK
Yeah.
and in other countries, it's already growing and faster than here. So even if when I'm talking, you can think that, oh, it's really developing a lot in Switzerland. It's not exactly the case. I am
Hmm.
trying to do it and show that we can do it,
Yeah.
but we have a lot of problems with the lobbies, because Switzerland is
Yeah.
known for for cheese, for meat, for everything. So we really have this problem, and it's why it's not going faster, but it's growing slowly. But honestly, we can do a lot more. Yeah.
And actually, sorry to jump on what you said. Because you mentioned like the cheese industry, what are maybe like the unexpected challenges that you faced where you were like, oh, okay, this is not something that I would have thought it would look like. So you talk about the lobbies. Was there any other challenges that you faced that you
Yeah, of
maybe
course, there's
hadn't
a lot
planned?
of there's a lot of challenges. What I can see is sometimes, and it's not related to food, but it's more like money, because a lot of people now implemented a sustainability department in their companies. I don't know if you also have this. Now it's popping everywhere. You go in every companies, we have a sustainability department,
Yeah.
whatever. And so they want to do sustainable actions and programs and this kind of thing. So they contact me and they say, oh, we would like to do this. And I send them the offer and then they come back, oh, it's too expensive. And I'm just like, okay, it's too expensive. But do you know that we use local, seasonal, organic products? What we're doing is a lot of work. We are just not coming, give something and we go and it's wrong and whatever. So everything that we are creating is really a lot of job that we're doing. And I think, and maybe it's the same for a lot of other entrepreneurs, but the people only want something very quick, cheap,
Quick solutions.
quick solution, cheap, just to put it in the company and say, okay, we did the program, we did the sustainability program and blah, blah. So sometimes this is something that I'm facing, but the lobbies and a lot of people are coming and say, yeah, but we want change and this kind of thing. But it's okay. And I don't want to work with this kind of people, I prefer to work with people who are questioning themselves, think that they need to do something. And this is easier. And also there is it's more valuable for me than trying to convince people. I'm not here to convince people. I'm just here to show people what they can. Yeah.
I like that. When maybe because we can talk forever, but maybe maybe to close it off,
Sure.
because I know that there are, like me, probably people that are listening that are thinking, well, I want to explore more about becoming vegetarian or becoming vegan. What can your company do for them, or where can we go to get some tips or read more or understand more about the directions that we can take if we would want to?
Yeah. So I would like to develop more the communication that we're doing on the social media. We already have an Instagram account. For the moment, it's more in French because we have a lot of French-speaking people around us, so it's why. But we are also developing communication in English, and we would like to have programs and also e-learning programs on our website. But I need to work on it, and for the moment it's not possible. But we also provide how can I say it? Advice if it's needed. You can send me an email, and of course we have this cooking classes that we are going to run very soon. Now I will have a kitchen. And this was really complicated to have it. So in a few months, I will have this kitchen. We will organize a lot of different kind of workshops also about food, but also menopause and food, sport and food, this kind of things, because it's so important.
Very good.
And we are also able to travel everywhere. So if you would like us to come in France, in Amsterdam, everywhere. And we have a team who is fluent also in English, and it's quite easy for us to go everywhere. So let us know, and we can also co-create programs
What's the
together.
name of your website?
Vegetables.
.com,
Yeah.
.fr.ch.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Sorry. .com. So it's
.com.
vegetable.com, but vege, how do you say tire?
Yes, you have _ables.com.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, exactly. But I will. I
We will
will
put
send
it in
all
the description as well,
yeah,
so that people can follow it and go to your website.
And
yeah,
actually,
exactly.
sorry, just to build on that one. I mean, Sophie, at the moment you're the jack of all trade, and as you said, you're receiving like so many requests and demands. But we can follow you also on your LinkedIn because you're really active, posting like almost every day, and you have also a really active vegetables page on LinkedIn. So I would
Yeah.
invite also anyone listening to you and discovering you to follow you on LinkedIn because you're pretty
Yeah.
vocal. So.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, thank you.
Sophie, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us. We've learned so much, and we will keep following all your stories and developments with vegetables. And to everyone watching, thank you for watching again. Sandrine,
Such a
thanks.
delight.
Sophie, thanks. And
Thank
see
you
you all
so much.
next time.
Bye-bye. See you.
Bye.
Bye.